Many South African horse racing fans will remember fondly the farewell to Horse Chestnut and the farewell to Pocket Power. Arguably two of South Africa's most famous thoroughbred racehorses who went on to do two separate things once they retired from the racetrack. Horse Chestnut went to America in a bid to participate in the Dubai World Cup. But unfortunately, due to injury, his plans were thwarted, and he was beautifully returned to South Africa, where his genes proliferate to this day. Conversely, Pocket Power, who was a gelding, was retired to the farm of Belinda Hatred, the work rider who rode him for much of his racing career, where he enjoyed a short-lived show jumping career. He has subsequently been retired to the farm of David and Sandra Hepburn Brown in the beautiful Hemel and Arder Valley. But there are many, many thoroughbreds who don't find that kind of luxury. And many of these horses that you'll see today are the horses that have competed at the highest level and sometimes been absolutely useless. But they've managed to find their way into homes where three-phase eventing has become the norm after their life as a racehorse. Mr. Brock in picture just happens to be one of them. Started back in 2003, this annual event has gained in popularity year by year, and it strives to fill the gap in the calendar for this exciting format. It is believed that the blend of horsemanship incorporating dressage, cross-country and show jumping, all on the same horse, is a most exciting challenge. These trials back in 2009 helped riders in their quest to be able to represent South Africa in the Olympic Games by presenting a world-class course for all of these riders to acquire the necessary points to qualify. It really is a sport to be supported and popularized, and the more publicity this kind of event is given, the more it will encourage riders to participate and thereby give the thoroughbred racehorse an afterlife after his career competing on the racetrack. The committee who run this event are very knowledgeable horse people with much international experience of this sort of show. And it is an outstanding venue with courses built over the Carkloof polo fields and adjoining Sappy land. The event has attracted over 100 riders in 2014, half of whom were outside KwaZulu-Natal province. It is hoped that well over this number will participate in the 2015 edition of the Spurwing Horse Trials. It is interesting and encouraging also to see the many ex-racehorses finding a home in the eventing arena. Many are ideally suited for the sport and gives them a life after their racing careers. In the name of promoting the afterlife of the thoroughbred, here are some names that will be all too familiar for those of you who watch Teletrack on a regular basis. The Grade 1 winners, who include Macaro and Equal Image, as well as the global traveller Mr. Brock, who was champion horse of Mauritius and raced in the Dubai World Cup, almost won by his stable companion Liz's Desire. Then there's Stage Throne, the son of Dynasty, who's a half-brother to the dual Grade 1 winner Russian Sage. There's the Emerald Cup winner Alamany, and another Emerald Cup winner Iron Curtain. Then there's Jägermeister, Forecastle, Western Prospect, Almo, and the R1 million purchase Classic Summer. The list goes on and on. Show jumping, cross-country, and dressage. It's a wonderful mix and a wonderful event to watch.
It's always fantastic. I rode here the first time in 1972, so we've been coming and supporting the venue, and there's a reason for it. Not only are we privileged to be able to ride in such a beautiful property, the Benson family have been huge in it, and Spurwing, and it's such a relaxing show, and we bring new clients and introduce them to the sport of eventing, and this is probably one of the best, friendliest venues that we in our calendar. So, you know, we've run big shows. SA Champs has been here. We all qualified in our final qualification to go over to America to the World Equestrian Games. So the venue can handle that type of caliber event, and we've had fun in the 70 centimeters and what show was run this year. So really it's just an all-round venue, and it's fantastic.
You are the classic exponent of a man who's taken a thoroughbred from the racetrack and got him to have another life, A, and B, be extremely successful in Forecastle, Jägermeister, your new acquisition, Macaro. Take us through the event this week.
You know, Andrew, I like my thoroughbreds. They just seem to have an edge. Take Macaro, for example. He was a really, really top-class racehorse. And when I'm out on a cross-country course, point him in the right direction, and, you know, he takes the bit and he has a go. And this is what I like. You tend to find that good racers turn into really good event horses. They've got that winning feeling, that winning spirit. They want to go and do the job. You've got to get them settled a little bit for dressage, but, you know, once that's achieved, you know, they're talented horses. An athlete's an athlete.
Yes, thanks, Andrew. I mean, they both come off the track as late racehorses, and the way that they both come on to their show jumping career has been really great. Equal is now 2-star and competing well, and Mr. Brock is doing well in the 90s. He's at a good grounding, and we'll take him maybe a meter next year.
He looks like the Iron Horse in terms of his physique and in terms of his makeup. I did notice that he's, you know, earlier on in his career he was a bit fizzy, but you seem to have taken care of that.
Yes, I mean, obviously it takes him a bit of adjustment coming off the track. They still think that they have to run, and, you know, coming here to the open fields, they think that that's fun things that they got to do, and they learn eventually that they got to calm down and do the job that they got in hand.
Thanks again to the
He's travelled all over the world, to Mauritius, to the United Kingdom, to Dubai. He seems to be a very, very adaptable type of horse. How's he enjoyed it in the Carcliffe today?
Yes, he's loved it. He had a great run. I got to open him up nicely because it's a nice open field and the going's really great here. So he had a great run today, and I'm happy it was a nice confidence run.
Are you happy the way that things mapped out for you?
Yes, I'm very happy. You know, finished up winning the class, so I'm very happy with how he went.
So it's a double victory for you after last year with Equal.
Yes, yeah.
This year they've introduced the 70s class, which I think is, you know, encouraged a lot of the younger people, younger horses, younger riders. But you've still got those star players in there, your Graham Wins, as you've mentioned, Douglas Walsh's Martin, who won it, some Corinne Barker, the list could go on and on. So we've still got those absolute stars that we had in 2009 when we had the big event. And in 2009 we're looking at sort of over 200 competitors. So like every event, you've got to build it up from the base. Last year was our first year back in 2013. The polo grounds had to be resurfaced post the 2009 event. And I think the break did everyone a bit of good, just to refresh, go back to the drawing board, see how we could do a bit of reinventing and things. And, you know, they've come out trumps. I'm really, really pleased with how the weekend turned out. You know, it seems a pity that it's over. You know, the weeks and weeks of preparation from those people bringing their horses on, and to the actual sponsors who are involved, and the team of worker bees behind putting an event like this together is quite phenomenal.
You know, for us it's still a horse with temperament and an athlete. You know, whether they're a performance-bred horse, and there are a lot of them, or the thoroughbred, you go a long way to beat a very good thoroughbred. You know, I still, although I ride a lot of warm bloods, you know, a good thoroughbred is still you know, an athlete that is reckoned with, but they've got to have temperament. And, you know, a lot of the thoroughbreds today are being bred for the specific purpose of what they're bred for, racing. And we've lost the nice big size horses. So you got to look carefully, but they are out there, and it's normally a little bit more in everyone's budget to get a good thoroughbred. The performance bred horses, for the purpose that they are being bred for, it's an expensive project for the stud owners, so therefore you're going to be expected to pay a little more.
It's a passion of ours, and we do it. We travel the country. We're looking forward to possibly going to Namibia to an event in February, and Zimbabwe, Harare, an FEI event in March. So it's part of our passion, and that's why we do it.
Well, I suppose the first question that comes to mind is, how do you fund it?
We have a business. We work really hard. Occasionally we have to trade a horse to keep us abreast of the situation, but goes with it. If it's your passion, you do it. You make a plan. I've been doing it since I was 6 years old, and I'll continue to do it while I can. Keeps you fit and healthy, and keeps the adrenaline pumping, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, I was speaking to your wife, and obviously to look like you do at the age of 53 means that you obviously have to put a lot of hard work and a lot of hours into keeping fit and staying healthy.
Andrew, it's not so much at a show. You know, today I rode 3 horses in the same competition. I was on course for 16 minutes out of the competition's 40 minutes, and it was quite hard. But at the end of the day, it's your hard work you put in at home that pulls you through. You know, you're schooling up 4 horses a day. It's the hard yards. And you know what? If you love doing it, it's a passion, you enjoy it. So keeps you fit.